Welcome to Mountain Bike Hot Takes. So the purpose of this video, we're going to be going through and discussing some of the topics in mountain biking, what's better than others and people's opinions. And I want you to comment down below what you think, and we can have a nice little debate and discuss what we think. Kicking it off then, as you will see in the title, we're going to be talking about electric shifting against mechanical shifting. Now I experienced this first on the YT Capra. You would have seen me went out recently, me and Dad. And yeah, my bike, I didn't actually ask for it, but it just it came with electric shifting. And it was quite interesting to have a go of it and to see exactly like what it was like, because everyone's been talking about it. And you know, in EWS and all those races, you're seeing it pop up more and more. So let's talk about some of the benefits of it and some of the not so good bits. Firstly, it is great shifting. You push the button, the gear's in. Mechanical, if it's set up properly, it can be pretty good, but yeah, it's a little bit more temperamental and it isn't probably going to ever be quite as good as electric shifting, just getting it there instantly like that. The thing with mechanical shifting is you are going to get wear and a little bit of friction on the cable, and it will start to get slower and slower. Another benefit of the electric shifting, it's going to kind of line up really, really well, and they sort of say that there's less wear on the components because everything's going to be set up perfectly. You know, it shifts nicely all the time, and it's just going to avoid that misalignment. It's just going to start wearing away at your cassette and at your chain. I think the other thing as well is just with mechanical gears, you can just figure out exactly what you need to do to fix it, and they're relatively straightforward. With electric, I think it gets obviously a bit confusing. Now, the aim is with electric shifters that you shouldn't need to replace it and like that often, and it should work for a long time. I guess there's always a doubt of what if it did go wrong. But let's talk about like the elephant in the room here. The big thing between mechanical gears and electric gears, the price. Now that electric shifting, like I say, when I rode it, it was fantastic. Dad jumped on the bike and absolutely loved it as well. It is really good. But the price tag is quite hefty. So just looking up now for the gears that I've got on my bike, the SRAM GX 12-speed Eagle, the mechanical version. Now that right now to buy for the whole group set, including everything, on chain reaction cycles, is £379.95. Now, let's go over to the SRAM AXS shifting, also on the same website. And for the whole set, it comes in at £1,180. For a lot of people out there, I think, who would be like me, that's a massive, massive step up of money. Is that really that much better for the price? Electric gears or mechanical gears? For me, I love the mechanical gears, and I think I'll continue for a while. I think the electric gears are absolutely great and the shifting performance is just so good. But can you really justify 2 or even 3 times the price? The next hot take we're going to go on to is wide bars or narrow bars. Now for me, I love the wide bars. I currently run 800mm on both bikes. You might have heard, or if you follow the channel, I've recently bought my e-bike and it came with 780 handlebars, but recently I've upgraded those to the 800mm to match my Canyon torque, and I absolutely love them. I think they're so good. There's various sizes of handlebars you can actually get in mountain biking: 760, 780, 790 I'm pretty sure, 800. We're even now going up as wide as 810mm. And probably even bigger. I'm sure there's probably bigger out there as well. Now, what actually does the wider bars or the narrow bars, what's the advantages of all of it? Oh, the wider bars, they've got really good movement in them, especially for some of those like small, quick turns. You just really feel like you've got really good control and you can just turn really nicely. Now, with some of those narrower bars, I think you can just feel how it doesn't quite turn in that quite as smoothly. You maybe have to just sort of just chuck the bike in a tiny bit more. Now, it is very minuscule, and a big part of this is going to be down to personal preference. One of the advantages, though, I would say of narrow bars is that mountain bike trails can be super tight. People love trying to weave through these tiny little gaps. And I'm definitely someone who I've experienced when my handlebars don't actually fit through the trail. I have to develop this little wiggle that you might have seen me do, where you almost have to go in an angle to get one bar through to then get the other. So, you know, when you're plowing down the trail and you see this sort of narrow bit, it can be a bit scary sometimes. And you know, I've seen marks on the trees where people have hit the handlebars. Let me know down in the comments what handlebar width you run and why you run it. Do you prefer the narrower bar? Do you prefer the wider bar? Or are you not really bothered at all? Coming in at number 3 then, Troy Lee Designs is the best clothing brand in mountain biking. Mountain bike clothing, what a topic this is. Now, when I started, I used to just wear so many bright colours. There really used to be a thing of just mountain bikers wearing loads of just super bright colours. I mean, I say it used to be a thing. I'm sure it still is. But yeah, I remember the days where I used to have like light blue shorts, light green socks, red, blue, green kind of jerseys. Like, I didn't even know those colours went together. But just no coordination. Just wore literally whatever, be super bright, not matching it with any bikes or nothing. Just used to go out and just, I loved it, man. It was just so good. The thing is about me, I do quite like my fashion, I quite like my style. And I've decided to kind of think about it a little bit more when I'm wearing my mountain bike clothes. So I definitely started out using a lot of Fox and even some Enduro here and there. But one of the brands massively that has just filled my wardrobe is Troy Lee Designs. So this is into part of my wardrobe. This is most of my mountain bike stuff. Not all of it, but yeah, I've got jerseys, got short sleeves, long sleeves, and some jackets. And quite a lot of it is Troy Lee Designs. What I really like about it is it's very stylish clothing and it's got a nice fit to it that just makes me feel good and just looks so good when I'm out on the bike. Troy Lee Designs have got a racing fit design on quite a lot of their clothes, which is a lot more of a tighter neck, tighter, slimmer fit, and it's tight on the arms. And yeah, I just think it proper makes you feel like an enduro racer. So why might you go for other brands other than Troy Lee Designs? Well, I think one of the big things it's going to be is the price. Troy Lee Design stuff is absolutely really nice, good looking stuff, but it is not cheap. It is definitely expensive. And as people know, you go out mountain biking, you get muddy, you might get it all damaged or ripped. I've had that happen before. And so do you really want to spend that extra money on some of those clothes? Maybe other brands like Fox or Nukeproof or Scott, they have quite a wide range and you can go for something a bit lower price that's just going to give you all the same benefits. Troy Lee Designs then is definitely my go-to. I've got quite a few jerseys, trousers and shorts. I absolutely love the stuff. But what's your favourite clothing brand for mountain biking? Hot take number 4. Wide tyres are much better than narrow tyres. Mountain bike tyres always make me laugh. This is such a big thing with mountain biking with mountain bike tyres. What tyres do you need? Wide, narrow, and then we've got all this other technology that comes with them. You know, exo protection, like Max Terra, Max Grip. What else is there? Like sidewall protection, double down, folding, wire bead. Like we've now even got this wide trail stuff for those super wide rims and wide tyres. Like it's just crazy, isn't it? Wider tyres then, it definitely does feel like you get some more grip from it. But does that mean that narrow grip is pointless? Like why would you go for it? Well, the thing with narrow tyres is that you're definitely going to get more rolling speed. So if you're someone who really wants to blast down those trails, then the more grip you have, you're just going to start to get more resistance and it's going to start slowing you down. So I guess you've got to really decide on your type of riding. Do you prefer the speed or do you prefer more grip? I don't ride them massively wide. I currently have 2.4s. Probably would upgrade to 2.5 in the future, but it's still not crazy. But I guess some people would probably say it's quite wide. I really like it because I think it is just more grip. And for some of the tech stuff that we do, and I mean, we're going to Canada soon and ride in rock, and that's going to be super, super fun. So again, having those wider tyres, you just keep a little bit more grip on the rock. And to me, that's something that is really important. I think e-bikes has brought a new sort of thing to it as well. Because on my e-bike, I run some Max Grip tyres, and they are quite wide. And but with that, I kind of feel, because you've got that electric motor, that it's going to be pulling you along, giving you that assistance. I do kind of feel, well, why not go for that extra grip? Now, this is definitely probably going to sound pretty weird, but I absolutely love the wide tyres because I think they look good. Now, you might be thinking, how is it like they actually look that much difference when on the bike? But it is noticeable. Having like my Canyon, it's quite a big, chunky, super enduro bike, some people call it. It's pushing onto a downhill bike a tiny bit. But yeah, I think having the wide tyres, it just really adds to the bike. Real chunky look and just feels like it can attack anything. I just feel if it had some narrow tyres on it compared to the rest of the chunky bike, it just wouldn't look as good. So I'm a lover for the wide tyres. So in my opinion then, I think wide tyres are better than normal tyres. Just reading the list of hot takes that me and Dad have been coming up with, and this is one that definitely Dad's chosen. Canyon over YT. Now that's super hard because he knows that I absolutely love both bikes. I've had my Canyon for such a long time and I think it's amazing. But do I feel the YT's better or do I prefer the Canyon? I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm going to have to save that for another video. So mountain bike hot takes then. Got this idea from Marcus Brownlee. Check out his channel, it's super good. 17 million followers, absolutely smashing it. But yeah, I wanted to have a try of this for mountain biking. I think there's definitely some big ones in there that people have, and there's so much new technology coming out, and it's good to discuss and see what people think about it, because everyone's got these different opinions. So yeah, if there's any other suggestions that you have, let me know down below, and we'll get him in a video, we'll get him talking, and we can just all have a nice little friendly debate and see how we feel. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the video, and as always, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another ride.